Hello and welcome to the show, and yes, we have another Honda. We have many of them, but this one in particular is a Honda S2000. It was built and sent to me by Mr. Aero HD, and yes, I realise we've had 3 cars from him in 2 days. That's kind of a bit of a coincidency, accidenty. But anyway, this car has got near enough 300 horsepower, which makes it the most powerful we've ever had around our track. It also weighs 2,800 pounds, which makes it relatively heavy compared to some of the cars we've driven. I have to say, I do really like the look of it, even if the front bumper is kind of like a giant grin, which looks a little bit odd. The rest of the car is a fantastic looking car. Now, to drive, this car is actually really quite good. It's got an awful lot of grip, and much more than I was expecting from the Honda. It will go sideways when you push it. I mean, it's not really surprising. It is also by far the most powerful car we've had, sort of 40 or 50 horsepower, more powerful than what we had last week. It is relatively stable, I have to say, especially through some of the fast corners. It will let go if you really push it, as we can see here. Stig is sort of showing off a little bit. When you get it in a straight line, it is probably the fastest car we've had. It's definitely equal to the CRX, may even be a little bit faster. It's a really quick car in a straight line. So, on to the Honda's flying lap, and it's going very fast. You have to brake quite early for the first corner compared to some of the cars we've driven around here, because it just goes so fast in a straight line. Around the first corner, though, it's very nicely done. There's no leery oversteering moments, and just a little tap on the curb. Now down through the bomb hole section, fantastic corner down here. Really tests the high-speed stability of the cars, and the Honda passes with flying colours. It doesn't go sideways, and it gets over the bump nicely and lands without any issues. And around this particular corner, I'm not really a fan of that corner. It's a bit of a strange one. Stig runs it out wide, a little bit over the curves. Then it's up to the quadruple apex right-hander, just sort of doesn't ever end, and it's looking pretty good through there as well. It's not going sideways yet. And then we go up to the final corner. There's no scary sideways moments through here either. And Stig keeping it all under control, and then it's just the run to the line, and this car is fast. It's doing 125, 26 before you have to brake, which is pretty damn good for a B-class car down here. And there we go, as we see it goes flying across the line. Now up next we have a Toyota, and this is not a Honda, which is good. This is a Toyota MR2, the 89 edition. This one was sent to me by RJW. It has got a 1.6 engine and only 200 horsepower. Got a little bit less than 200 horsepower, which makes it the lowest powered car we've had around our track. It's also relatively light though, 2,300 pounds. Surprisingly, it makes it a little bit heavier than the CRX we had last week, although I suspect most of that weight is in that humongous rear wing. That really is a ridiculously sized wing. As far as engine goes, it is got some sort of forced induction. I'm not actually sure. The stickers on the car say it's supercharged, so I would guess it's a supercharger. I would doubt that he would have changed the aspiration on it. Now, this car to drive is utterly fantastic. I really like this car. It literally just drives like it's on rails. That's how well it handles. You can sort of just point it at a corner and it will stick, which makes it an absolute joy to drive around here, because through the fast corners it's so planted. Now, the issue is it is quite underpowered. I mean, 200 horsepower, yeah, it does sound quite a lot. It's actually the same amount that my Scion has, or near enough. But in here, on this car particularly, it feels really underpowered. I'm not quite sure why, but it really does struggle in a straight line, especially on that hill as well. You sort of notice the lack of power. However, here we are on to the fast lap for the MR2, and it brakes really quite late for the first corner compared to most of the other cars I've driven around here. The brakes stop it really well. It doesn't weigh very much, it's not going that fast, so the brakes do seem very powerful. As we come down the bomb hole, again, there's easily going to be taken flat out in this car. There's so much grip, and that huge wing must be producing an awful lot of downforce, because it's just so planted everywhere around this track. And up around the 4th or 3rd, or I don't know what number corner this is, I need to remember that next time. It's still looking very well planted. Stig runs a couple of wheels over the curb, nothing to worry about. And then round the very long right-hander, again, it's looking incredibly well poised through here. You can really just point it at an apex and it will go there. It's quite incredible, to be honest, driving this car. Then around the last very long left-hander, Stig's running out quite wide towards the grass there. He's going to bring it back in towards the end of the corner, and then it is a run, sorry about that, straight to the line. And as I said, it is a little bit slower down here. It's about 10, maybe even 15 miles an hour slower than the Honda S2000. And there we go, it is across the line. And now for the all-important lap times. The MR2 did a 58.861, which puts it up into third. Not particularly surprised because that car handles so well. The Honda S2000 though, I was a little bit surprised by it. It was a 59.0, and I'm not really sure why it's so slow. It's a lovely car to drive, and Stig was driving incredibly consistent lap times, all like 59.0, 59.1 and 59.2s with it. And I'm not really sure why it's down there. I think maybe the Honda isn't the S2000 anyway, isn't a particularly good B-class car. Maybe you can't quite get enough upgrades to make it fast. That's the only conclusion I can come to, because it is a nice car to drive. It's just not fast enough. That's about it for this episode, guys. So if you have a car that you want to see driven, it will be a couple of weeks until it gets on, because I've got quite a few to get through. You can send it to me if I'm on your friends list, or you can send me a message and put it on your storefront, and I'll go tell Stig to download it from there. But that is about it for this episode, guys, so thank you very much for watching, and we can finally send a car back to Aero that isn't broken. Anyway, until next time, goodbye. Oh no, Stig, what have you done? You've broken it. Oh no, we're going to be in trouble again, aren't we?